All right, welcome to the Credit Game. My name is Mike. Thank you for being a subscriber. If it's your first time on the channel, I am here every day for you to make sure that you learn credit, that you know credit, that it becomes almost like a knee-jerk reaction when you do something with credit. You have to know what to do. And so that's why I come to you every day, and I don't come to you once a week, once a month. I make sure that I give you the content, the best relative content. People, our members are asking, and that's how I generate my videos based on what questions are being asked to us, so that way I can be the most relevant. I don't just make up the titles, okay? So again, if it's your first time on the channel, we appreciate if you would hit the subscribe button. If you would turn on that bell notification, that would indicate when the videos come in, you're gonna get notified. Select the word all, that means that every day you're gonna be getting them in. Remember, anything that you wanna be a professional at is gonna require 10,000 hours of, basically training, right? A master of a craft is 10,000 hours. So if I can get in your ear every day, the more you listen, the better you're gonna get. And ultimately, we will raise the national credit average together as a family. So I appreciate that. Smash the like button if you can find this well in your heart, that this is something that could benefit you or others by even sharing this video. I appreciate it. So today we're gonna talk about how many credit cards you should have. All right, so people ask me, should I have one credit card? Should I have 3 credit cards? Should I have 5? Or should you have 43 like myself? All right. And so one of the things I want to share with you, and I would like for you to put this in comments, these are things that we've been told over our whole life, right? Why should I have $100,000 saved? Why should you have $1 million in your bank account saved? You work too hard. You're going to burn out. I want you to stay under the radar. You need to have a balance of your life. These are things that somebody, I'm going to ask you to put it in comments. Who told you these things? You should, fly low under the radar. You should stay where you're at. You're good. You don't need to overachieve. You're just good. You're good the way you are. You don't need money for investments. We'll take care of you. Put in comments below your whole life who has been telling you that. Let's see how many people get this right. I'm going to share something with you. Our whole life, since we were knee-high to a grasshopper, we have been told an old school mentality. What I'm asking you today is open up your ears and listen. Pay attention to what I'm telling you, because I bring the new school, the things that were never taught at home, the things that are never taught in school. This credit game is a game. And when you learn how to play it, you're going to master the game. And by mastering credit, you're going to be able to master your finances. You're going to be able to master living life on your terms. I'm telling you guys this. I have 43 credit cards. And I'm going to share with you some of the benefits of why people will tell you, what do you need that for? Why do you need all that credit? Will I ever use 43 credit cards, $500,000 in an open line of credit? No. But that's not the game. The game is to have more credit cards. I'm going to share with you some reasons of why that's important. Have more credit cards so you can build bigger and better credit, get higher and higher limits, and understand the game of inquiries. So let me share something with you. I have a couple credit cards, okay? 43. Some business, some personal. The important thing about credit is this. Some credit cards have an annual fee. In fact, I have one credit card. It's an Amex Platinum card. It's some ridiculous $495 per year. The rest of my credit cards are free. So the answer to why you should have 43 credit cards or one credit card lies down to this question. Why not? Is it that you're irresponsible, that you can't manage credit? Or is it you've been told mentally that you should only have one? Or do you feel that you can't manage credit? What if you knew the credit game? What if you knew how to manage it the correct way and you'd be approved for higher and higher limits? You see, if you knew what you were doing, it would be like walking across a battlefield with landmines with your blindfolds off versus on. If you're on, if you got your blindfolds on, you're going to get crushed, right? You're going to get blown up. But what if I show you exactly, literally, take the blindfolds off. Here's a roadmap. Credit game's a roadmap to the other side. Credit is the gap between your 550 credit score to the 800. I've been in 827 for the last 7 years. Never went backwards. Fluctuates between 815 and 840. The reason is because I created the credit game for myself. And when it works so well, I decided to share it with you guys. So why would we want to have multiple credit cards? Let's say you wanted to buy Christmas presents, okay? And we'll use me as an example so it's a real life illustration. This year, I want to go out and buy some Christmas presents for the children, okay? If I had 1 or 2 credit cards, let's just say, and my credit limit was $1,000 and $2,000, $1,000 and $3,000, okay? I had 2 credit cards. I had a total credit limit between both cards of, say, $4,000. And I went out and I spent $2,000 on Christmas between the family, the kids, and everybody, right? But I only had $4,000 of open lines of credit because I had a $1,000 and $3,000. Now I just spent $2,000. Guess what happens? My credit score significantly drops because now I have a 50% utilization. Now let's use me for a case. Today I have over $500,000 in open lines of credit. If I spent $2,000 on Christmas, does that affect my credit score even a quarter of a point? No. Because now we're taking $2,000 out of $500,000, zero impact. Remember this, utilization is the second biggest impact on your credit score. Do you think about 30% of your score is made up by how much credit you're using? So, is it better, let me ask you this question, is it better to have more credit cards or less credit cards? The answer is more. More is better in this case because the more you have, number one, the more apt the banks are to lend higher and higher limits to you, right? So for example, my lowest credit limit is $7,000. My top one is $100,000, my Amex. So think about that for a minute. And if I have a $7,000 and a $100,000 and everything in between, the other 40 cards in between, do you think if I applied for another credit card today that they would give me $1,000 credit limit, $3,000 credit limit, $5,000 credit limit, or probably somewhere around 30 to 40? Probably somewhere 30 to 40. You see the difference? The more cards you have, the better you are off. Now, people are going to say this. That's why I'm going to cover it. But what if I keep adding credit cards? Is that going to lower my age? Yes, it will. Every credit card you add, you will lower age. So me, myself, when I created the credit game, I'm going to share something with you. I built that for me. And as I was applying for credit cards, I decided to do a calculation to say, how many new credit cards can I have, okay, in my 60-day period? So I want you guys 2 credit cards every 60 days. And what would I need to do to offset the age, which is 15% of your score? So think about this now. Every 3 credit cards you get, you need to have a 5-year Tradeline added, an authorized user added. Because if not, every time you put a new account on, it's going to lower your average age. So I get 3 credit cards. I put at least a 5-year Tradeline on my credit. My score doesn't go down. I have 3 brand new credit cards. Guys, I'm dropping gems to you now. Every 3 cards that you apply for, make sure you add at least a 5-year Tradeline to it. Because what's going to happen is every new card you put on, boom, score drops, score drops, score drops, and you put the Tradeline on, you're good. What I would do, put the Tradeline on, then apply for 3 credit cards. And you'll see this all in the credit game. This is real simple. I mean, it's a game, learning the game. I know you guys didn't even think about that. And I didn't think about it at the time. But I'm like, you know what? My score's dropping, so what do I need to do? So that's why I put this whole platform together to show you what exactly you need to do so your score doesn't drop, but only increases. Trade lines are the gap for the age, so that way you can apply for a bunch of credit cards and your score doesn't drop, it actually goes up. So, 30% of your score being utilization. Do you understand that the more credit you have, you can use more, and I'm going to be very clear about this. Do not use credit cards for beach, like just go out vacations and beach trips and shoes. And this is not the time you want to use credit cards, okay? Credit cards are used for the purposes of anything that you're going to use for cash. Exchange that for one of your cards. And I would exchange it for the highest credit limit card you currently have. So if your highest credit limit is $5,000, that's the card you want to use. Because if you use the card that's $500, your utilization when you use anything on it is going to be very, very utilized. So if you have a $500 credit card, you go out and spend $200, now you have a 40% utilization on your credit, okay? But if you use, $500 on $5,000 credit limit, then you're only at 10%. Now I tell you guys this, if you can get all your credit cards to 2%, okay, this is gonna require some dedication. It's gonna require some discipline, because getting your credit cards to 2% across the board means that you know how to use credit for the purposes of building credit, not for the purposes of going to St. Bart's, not for the purposes of going out to, spend it on clothes, and the new Gucci watch, and the Hermes belt. Couldn't even say that damn word last year. Hermes. You don't want to spend $1,000 on a belt on a credit card. Okay. So if you're already going to spend the money in cash for something, you want to use your highest credit limit, and you want to pay it back in full as much as possible. Get it down to 2%. So if I went out and spent $1,000, I'm going to make sure that I put $995 probably. I want to leave that card at about 2%. I want all my cards to be at 2%. I don't ever want to pay them off in full. The magic number is 2%. So if I can spend $1,000 on my card, I'm going to at least make a $950, $960 payment on that card. You watch how fast your credit line increases when you do that, because you are showing the bank that you're responsible with credit, A, and B, that you're financially stable enough to be able to pay it back, not just pay the minimum payments. Now, part two to this is this. The biggest mistake you will make by having a lot of credit cards. I've surveyed over 50 people with over 800 credit score. That's in here, okay? It's inside the credit game. I went through and surveyed 50 people, and I said, what are you guys doing? What is the number one thing? Just like every millionaire, okay? What is the number one thing for every single millionaire? What is the one thing that was in common? I did a research here too. I did over 50 people with over $1 million annual income. And I said, what is the one thing that you guys do? And the answer is they read books. It's the one thing that everybody did. The average person reads 1 book per year. The average millionaire reads 4 books per month. In credit, the person with the 800 plus credit score, what do you think the one thing is? The one thing in common between everybody with an 800 credit score is they set their payments up on auto deduct. And here's why. Because they understand that 35% of their score is based on payment history. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say I have 43 credit cards, okay? If you go back through the last 7 years since I've been building credit, okay? And because, guys, I was at a 505. Okay, I was a 505 score, and I needed help. And that's why I created this. I created it for me. So for me to go through the process and put all this into one platform for you guys can do it and such, you don't have to go through the 7 years. I take 7 years and I condense it into one platform for you guys to be able to do it in like months. So I took these people and I surveyed it. I said, what do you do? And it was auto deduct payments, meaning you call your credit card company and say, hey, I would like the minimum payment to be taken out of my checking account automatically, because they understood that if they missed a payment, which is 35% of your score is going to be shit. 35%. If you took 35% of 800, that's 250 points. Okay, one missed payment. Now you're at 800 credit score, now you're at a 650. You missed one payment. Let me show you the difference. I have 43 credit cards. Okay, so over the last 7 years, I just calculated this. I have 395 on-time payments. 350, because what they do is they take payment, credit card number one, all the credit cards. I have 395 on-time payments. If I were to, God forbid, I were to miss a payment, do you know what would happen? Where most people would be crushed. I'm telling you, miss one payment, you're crushed. Your score is done. If I miss a payment, I have 395 on-time payments. Well, now I miss a payment. Now I have 394 out of 395, which is 99.7% payment history. My score doesn't drop 1 point. The difference is you have 2 credit cards and you've got, say, 20 payments on time. Okay? Let's say you have 20 on-time payments and you miss 1 payment. Okay? That is equivalent to 5%. Now you're at a 95% payment history. And according to Credit Karma, if you pull it up, you are now in the C category. You're probably going to lose, I don't know, 30 to 40 points, 1 payment. If you don't have 20 payments on time, let's say you have 1 credit card. You've got 6 months. You got brand new credit. You got 6 months of good payments. You miss 1. Now you're missing a payment out of 6 good payments. You miss 1. Now you're 1 out of 6. Now you're dropping down to under 90% payment history. You see the difference? You see why more credit cards is better, more payments on time is better? So every time you get a credit card, start making payments on that credit card, the better off you're going to be because you're going to have longer payment history. Which is why if I applied for a Citibank Double Cash or if I wanted to go get the Chase, Sapphire, they would give me, $30,000 to $50,000 credit line. But you guys are struggling to get your Capital One, right? I was talking about this the other day, your baby boys. You're struggling to get the Discover, the IT card, the little $1,500 card. You guys are struggling because you don't know the secrets. You don't know that there's a way to actually do this without getting inquiries. You don't know how to get into public record, right? How to go to opt-in, opt-out, and opt yourself in. Go to Google, opt-in, opt-out. Make sure you go there, click on opt-in, opt-out, scroll all the way down, and you'll see a little button down there that says make sure you opt in, because that way you get the pre-approval offers in the mail. When you apply for those, you don't get the hard inquiry. You don't know that when you go online, you can just Google most companies and say pre-approval Discover, pre-approval, and guess what won't happen? You won't get an inquiry. You don't know the secrets of things that you can do because you don't know the credit game. I have so many. If you think that's valuable, wait till you see what's in here. Because remember, if I build it for me, I was going to build it right. And now I just happen to share it with the world. So if you think the content that I give you here for free is valuable, wait till you see something that you actually get to use that costs money. There's skin in the game. I'm going to put the good stuff in here. Okay? How many trade lines should I have? What kind of progression files should I have? How to remove late payments, collections, charge-off, student loans, how to remove bankruptcies, foreclosures. What if I was a victim of identity theft? I don't know. Maybe I had a repo, bankruptcy chapter 7, 13. Maybe it was 11 for business. You guys need to know credit. You need to know when you apply for credit cards. How about, what if you knew what credit card places to go to? What if you knew what trade lines to put on so you can go get a $7,000 credit card immediately? First try. It's in the credit game. So I say all to tell you this. I want to give you the most education I can possibly give you in a 15, 20-minute video. I got people that have been following me for years. Mike, I've been following you for years, man. I'm ready to move forward. I love your content. I appreciate you taking the time to build every single day to make sure that you can help us. And I appreciate you guys. But there's a time and a place where you have to say, you know what? It's time for me to actually do something about it. And that's where the pedal hits the metal, where you say, you know what? Like, I can only do as much as I can do with videos. Okay? I want the real deal. I want the elite credit repair. I didn't have the elite credit repair, which is why it took me so many years. Now, in my credit game, I'm doing a couple things for you guys today. Okay? Number one, you guys are going to have access to trade lines. But let me clarify that. You'll have access to up to 75% off any competitor prices, because you're going to need them as you apply for credit cards. You're going to need to know what credit cards to apply for that are the easiest cards to get. Okay? You guys are going to need to know that rent reporters can go back 3 years and reports to Equifax and TransUnion now. You guys are going to need to know, to get into public record, how to get into SageStream and ARS and LexisNexis, so that way you can be in public record and start getting your pre-approvals. You guys are going to need to know all this data. I can only give you a certain amount of data in a short period of time. but you're going to get up to 75% off competitor prices on your trade lines. So you can apply for credit cards, don't get the inquiries, but don't lose your age. You guys are also going to get elite credit pair. And I'm doing this for the first few callers that call in. I want to make sure you guys get your elite credit pair taken care of. By the way, this is digital. This is not done by letters. It's my VIP vendor, fastest credit pair on the planet. Hands down, nobody will do a guarantee on time and a guarantee on removals. Nobody in the nation. I've got the best VIP vendor on credit pair on the planet, in my opinion, that you guys will have access to. Because if you want to have a holiday and start getting some credit cards, guess what? With being today's date, you're running out of time. And you got FICO coming up as well. You guys know about FICO 10, the trending? Take advantage of it. Here's what I'm going to ask you. Are you ready to change your life? Put in the comments below, are you ready to change your life? Because this is a game changer. This is a life changer. This is where you have to stop living cash to cash to cash to cash. Why do you want to live like that? Why not just have the leverage and understand credit so that way you can actually have freedom? So to do that, there's going to be a portion of people that will actually say, you know what, Mike, I want help. And there's going to be a portion of people that what we call the sheeps that will continue to follow the 99% of people that are just okay with having bad credit. If you want to be in the 1%, to be in the 1%, you got to do what the 1% do. The 1% do this. They pick up the phone, they say, hey, Mike, I need help. 904-420-7772. That's what they do. They don't follow the rest of the people, because if you just want to be average, just follow the rest of the people. It's very easy to be average in this world. You'll fit right in. Just continue to do what you're doing. To separate yourself, you got to do what the 1% do. The 1% don't follow the other 99. They go off. They make the move. I want to help you. My team wants to help you. We are here to help you. We're here to change the credit average in the United States, guys. I need your help to do that. And I need your help to finish you. Everybody's credit is like a fingerprint. So I need you to call me. Let me know what's going on. Tell me what's going on. I want to help you. This is my way of giving back. So with my program today, you guys, elite credit pair and up to 75% off of trade lines off competitor prices. This is going to change your life in 2020 if you make a move. So I'll be waiting on your call. I want to thank you guys for being subscribers. Give me a thumbs up, guys. Appreciate it. And I will be looking for your call to help you. 904-420-7772. Go back to this video as many times as you need to learn the tricks of what's inside the credit game and why I built this. Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Waiting on your call when you call. Take care.